back in studio answering another phenomenal question. This one is from Jose. How do I get out of my own way to get better, be better in Jiu-Jitsu? I think the irony behind the situation is that we simply got to ask for help. I think when we find ourselves in quote unquote habit situation, something that is completely repetitive, we do this over and over and over, and we are unable to just get out of that funk. Well, we got to ask for help. We simply need to seek attention from somebody else for a few reasons. One, clearly, what we're doing is not working. I mean, we need to acknowledge that right up front. What we've done up to this point is just not efficient, not effective, is not making the impact to get us to the goal that we are trying to achieve. So we need outsider. We need somebody who has different perspective on situation. Perhaps they can see something that we cannot, but also somebody who has perhaps different experience, somebody who has different knowledge. Not necessarily more knowledge, but different knowledge. Somebody simply who sees the situation from a different perspective. And in Jiu-Jitsu particularly, I think there's a unique scenario where this happens all the time in private lessons or even conversations with my students where we talk about, I'm getting my guard passed all the time and I don't know how to stop it. And I've watched all the videos, I've seen things, I'm trying to these principles. And then we find out through these conversations that there is one minor detail that needs to adjust. Perhaps is a mental state, perhaps is a positioning of the hand, perhaps is a framing, perhaps is a simple thing as resisting or not resisting the situation. But the one point changes everything. It changes the situation, it changes the perspective, it changes how we solve and troubleshoot that event and that situation. So don't be afraid to ask for help. I've made another video early on this podcast stating about how to ask for help, how to seek advice from instructors, dig deep and find it out. That might be helpful as well. But listen, without us seeking external help, we are unable to make progression. As humans, sometimes we are very stuck in our ways. We want to do things the same way we've done for many, many months, weeks, months, years, decades. Sometimes we are creatures of habit, and habits are phenomenal way to introduce efficiency. However, if the habit doesn't work, if it works against us, now we are looking at trouble. Now we are looking at making a fundamental and core changes to make these adjustments. See, if you understand how habits work or how our brains really work, right? We have a part of the brain that makes our decisions and is logical, and then we have part of the brain that really executes without much decision process. We just go. And many call this habits. We call this muscle memory. We call this just execution points. However you call it, it all boils down to the point that our brain fires the decision to our body without us making a logical decision. And changing that is extremely difficult. This is why dropping old habits is challenging, and not impossible, or challenging. Seeking outside help will be the first point of getting it done. So, if you want to get out of your funk, you want to make changes, fundamental changes to your jiu-jitsu, talk to your instructors, talk to the higher breds of the academy, talk to your peers, and the outsider perspective really could change and really could impact how you view the situation and what progress you will make from that point on. Keep on training. Peace.